girl who would let opportunities slide past her. Even back in school, I remember knowing the answer and still willingly giving it away to people by not raising my hand. I used to always get behind the camera and never in front of it, and I would hide my face in photos because I was so insecure about the way I looked, about the way I felt, about the way I looked. That was the main key emphasis there. I still look the same pretty much. I haven't gone out and gotten plastic surgery or anything. I felt like I was watching my life go by from the passenger seat when I wanted to be the driver. I went from being that girl to literally putting my face and voice on the internet, making videos that have reached millions of people. I'm working with some of my favorite brands now and actively creating content for them that involves me putting myself out there. I have put myself out for opportunity after opportunity. It's weird because I could never get myself out of that stage for so many years when all it really took was... Hi guys, my name is Lila, and this is Becoming Disscomfortable, episode 4, a podcast where we discuss becoming the best version of you. Today we're talking about not just building confidence, because there are plenty of videos on the internet that will help you do that, and I would strongly recommend that you go check them out. I am teaching you how to build everlasting confidence, because the reality is we have good days and we have bad days. No matter how much money is in your bank account, no matter where you are in your life, no matter how powerful or how famous or how strong you get, everybody has problems and you cannot escape them. The reality is you are going to have bad days where you fall apart, where you feel like your life is an absolute wreck and you just cannot seem to be doing anything right. But your confidence doesn't need to go down with them. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build everlasting confidence that lasts you through both your good days and your bad days. Regardless of what you have or do not have in your life, the confidence lasts because it's linked to you and not to anything that is outside of your control. Before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button because it actually helps the channel out a lot more than you think. I'm also going to be talking about creating content. The number one question that I've been asked is, how do you put yourself out there? Like, not just out there, but on the internet out there, in terms of like making vlogs, a day in the life vlog. I know so many people who want to do this, but who are too scared to post, who are too scared of the judgment that will follow. I'm going to show you how to conquer those fears so you can start posting. If that's something that you're interested in, FYI, you don't need to post yourself on the internet in order to show or feel that you're confident. You can build confidence while keeping your privacy intact. The biggest mistake I see people make that completely screws with their confidence is them tethering it to one or two things in their life that are fickle. Everything is fickle in life. Your health, your monetary value, your bank account, your fame, friends, relationships, everything is fickle. Everything can change at any given moment, at any given time. If you depend too heavily on one specific avenue of life and you use that to funnel your confidence and your self-esteem, you're done for. Nobody has their life together. You look at the celebrities, the people with the most amount of money, the most amount of fame, they still deal with this stuff because what they have is fickle. It doesn't last. And as human beings, we can gain stuff, but we can also lose stuff at any moment. And it is so important to be aware of that. If you can lose something, let's just say hypothetically, if you can lose these things so quickly, why would you let your confidence rely on them? So many people in really sought after industries like the modeling industry or influencing or acting deal with these mental health issues, extreme mental health issues, because the majority of their confidence has to come from their looks, from external features, from things that they can and cannot control, from things that are never 100% certain. You need to find a way to tether your confidence to multiple things and not just one in your life. And you also need to do this while detaching yourself from external things, i.e. things that you cannot control. So let's say, for example, a relationship. Relationships come and go. We have to be honest about this, like we really do. Relationships come and go. You never know what's gonna happen. If you start depending on this person for your happiness, for your success, for your confidence, for everything that you have in your life, and you start linking it to them, and then suddenly that person leaves or you leave or something happens and it all falls apart, what are you gonna do? See, I want you to think about confidence like you would about money. Money is best kept if you have multiple streams of income. People tell you to diversify your income, not just rely on your job, on your 9 to 5, but on different things. Make sure you have different sources of income coming in so that if one fails, you still have others. I'm sure you've heard this on the internet at some point. Millionaires have 7 streams of income. Why do you think that is? Because if one stream of income is down, the rest of the 6 They're still alive and well, and that person does not have to worry about the money because they diversified their income. I want you to think about your confidence like that. Instead of tethering your confidence to one specific thing in your life that you are proud of, that you know for a fact are confident about. This could be an achievement that you've won. You could be getting good grades in class. You could have a certain feature, physically, looks-wise, that you like about yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you solely rely on that one thing, what happens when it's gone? What happens when you get older and you start aging? What happens when you have a bad mental health period and your grades are kind of going down? Like, what are you gonna do? So that's why you want your confidence to rely on a little bit of everything. Sprinkle some of the good grades, some of the you working out and building your body at the gym, sprinkle a little bit of your looks, sprinkle a little bit of everything that you feel proud of that you've accomplished. Use that, tether your confidence to all of those things rather than just one. Because this way, if one thing is down in your life, the rest of your confidence does not go with it. You can use that time to heal, to mend yourself, to get better, to get back on your feet, whatever it was that failed, that fell apart, while your confidence remains intact, because your confidence never really depended on that. And that's the mental work. That's the mental aspect and the choice that you have to make. Like, is this the only thing that's going to define my worth and my values? You can't let that happen. And that's your inner belief. And you have to keep telling yourself this until you believe it to be true. Okay, my next tip is you need to adopt the I have nothing to prove mindset. This is so crucial, I kid you not. I'm gonna use an example here. You will come across people who are constantly boasting about themselves, talking about their grades, and then you'll also see other students who you know, and everybody around you, your entire class knows that this person damn well got an A in this class, but you will never hear it come out of their mouth because this person does not have anything to prove. You need to be the type of person, when you walk into a room, you don't have anything to prove to anybody. You don't have to announce your presence. Your presence announces it for you. You don't have to go and tell people that you get straight A's. Your work ethic, your ability to concentrate, your grades, your scores, everything that you've already done, that already shows it for you. If you do this, stop it. Get out of that habit. You never, ever, ever need to prove your worth to anybody. That's the first thing you need to remember. Every time you walk into a room, you are not proving yourself to anybody. When you adopt that mindset, I swear to God, your life absolutely changes because you stop caring. It doesn't matter anymore when what you're doing it for. My next best tip is do the inner work. A lot of the times we focus on our external values to bring about our confidence or to degrade our confidence. You know, I think for a bunch of people, including myself, my confidence, as I mentioned before, was linked to outside, externally, the way I look and certain aspects of me that I simply could not control. Instead of working on the inner parts of me that I could definitely control, I would be too focused on the outside parts. My looks haven't changed. I'm still the same person. I haven't gone out and gotten plastic surgery or anything. The difference is in that mindset shift and the confidence, and that started to come from when I really began to appreciate what I have in my life. I see so many people practicing gratitude, using gratitude journals in their morning routines, and I've also seen people making fun of them. What's a little writing down in the morning is gonna do? I'll tell you what it's gonna do. It is going to change your life. It is going to change your perception of yourself. When you are grateful for the things that you already have in your life, for the things that you already love about yourself, and you have to find things. I'm sure there's always something that you can find. But what is that quote? The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's not necessarily the thing itself, it's how we perceive it. That's where the beauty is really found. And that's why there's so many different perspectives on beauty in society, because there's so many different ways to look at it. When you go and look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? Your crooked nose, your abominable eye shape. Instead of focusing on aspects of you that you don't like, find something that you do like about yourself. Maybe it's your hair texture that makes it very easy for you to try many different hairstyles. Maybe it's your sense of fashion. You have a good taste for design, for selecting colors and patterns that go together, and you overall come up with a very aesthetically pleasing design. Maybe it's something about your abilities. Maybe you're really good at math. It doesn't matter what it is, but you have to focus on that one thing, and then from there you diversify and you come up with different reasons. You have to train yourself to be confident. You have to train yourself to see the world from that perspective. I know it can be grim. I know it can be ugly, but there's always like a different way to see things. And I know you've heard this a lot, but do you actually practice it? Like, do you really ask yourself that right now? Do you actually practice practice this? Do you actually put an effort to change the way you're thinking? Because as human beings, we have a tendency to think about things as negatively as possible. I don't know why. I don't know what this is about human nature, but this is just how we are designed, I guess. Taylor Swift. Take a look at Taylor Swift's social media. When you go on her Instagram posts, you cannot see any comments. Nobody can post any comments. She has disabled all comments. Based off of the research that I've done, it's because Taylor actually said this, where she would look at all of these, awesome comments. She'd get like 10 positive comments, but if she saw even one negative comment in between them, that would severely damage her mental health. Instead of focusing on those 10 positive comments that she would receive, she would focus on the one negative one. That's Taylor Swift, the person who gets so much credit for her music and her industry. She deals with this. So if you have a tendency to focus on the negatives more than the positives, understand that it's okay and that it's natural, but it's not okay for you to just let it be and let it slide and not take initiative. If you truly want to see the change in your confidence, then you need to start actually flipping your mindset. When you look at yourself in the mirror, instead of finding things to criticize, you need to find something, one thing that you like about yourself, that you love about yourself. And if you just cannot find it in your looks, then you can find it in your habits. You can find it in something that you're doing, a project that you're working, in something that you have achieved. This one is a little bit controversial. This one is something that you very much can control. But like I said, I don't want you to get carried away, because sometimes we have good days and we have bad days, and bad days can interfere with this one. So you want to make sure that you don't let your bad days also interfere with your confidence simultaneously. The idea is to link your confidence to your achievements, but not entirely. Just a tiny little portion of your confidence needs to come from your achievements and from what you are doing constantly. Now, just let me clarify. By achievements, I do not mean massive awards or Olympic medals. Yeah, we're not talking about that. Anything small can be considered an achievement. It's as simple as you setting a goal and accomplishing it. That is an achievement, no matter what the goal is. If you set an intention and you actually act upon it and you do that, that is an achievement in of itself, and you have to celebrate that. If you do not celebrate that, you have nothing to live for. You're always going to be chasing the next high. You're always going to be chasing the next level of success, and it's never going to do anything for your confidence. I think it comes from reprogramming your mind. Redefine what you believe to be an achievement, what you believe to be success, and watch how your confidence just is elevated. If you said that you were going to read 3 books this month and you actually did that, that is a huge achievement, and you should be proud of that. And that is something that you can derive your confidence from. Why? Because you can now associate yourself with that title. I am a reader. You can say that about yourself. You will gain confidence by practicing what you preach, by doing stuff. A lot of the times you see people who, are kind of shaky in their confidence, or who come across as insecure. They talk a lot, but they don't do a lot. They don't have a lot to support what they're doing. Whereas if you actually practice what you preach, you won't even spend time talking. Going back to that example about the grades, you're not going to feel the need to go and publicize that to the people. It's there. It's apparent. It's something that exists. You don't have to go out and broadcast it to people because you know it's true. This is completely tied to Healthy Girl Summer and to becoming that girl and all of those challenges and trends and lifestyle stuff that you're seeing online. You can use that to your advantage. Building healthy habits, trying new skills, you will gain confidence from that. I kid you not. The more skills you learn and the more you hone them and get better at your craft, the more confidence you will derive from them. I recently have become so confident talking about social media and about social media growth and all of this stuff that I now feel ready to coach people on social media. That wasn't always the case, but when people saw me practicing actively, I was editing my videos and I was learning about the social media algorithms as fast as I could. I was putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into practicing, into honing my skills, and as a result, now I feel confident enough to talk about it in front of people, in front of strangers, because I have practice with them. So when you practice what you preach, it will give you authority over those topics, over those aspects of your life, and you are going to feel so confident talking about them. But like I said, take this with a grain of salt. Because while these achievements and these goals that you are accomplishing in your life, they can definitely aid your confidence, you don't want your confidence to solely rely on them. You still want your confidence to be extracted from other aspects of your life. The way you treat people, the way you present yourself, the way you look. Sure, why not? Who you are as a person, you want your entire identity to become wrapped up in everything that you love about yourself and everything that funnels and fuels your confidence specifically. If I'm talking about something on the internet, you best believe that I am practicing it as well. And that is where my confidence comes from. I talk about honesty as well. One of my biggest virtues is honesty. And I always am just super confident. You know, if somebody tells me that they need to share something in private, or if it's just being honest in general, I'm able to confidently convey to people that I am an honest person because that is who I am. I live up to that part of my identity. Again, doing that inner work on yourself, and you do it every single day, and you're practicing in the gratitude and whatnot, I promise you, your confidence is gonna go up. Maybe not in a day, maybe not in 5 days, but eventually, yes, your confidence is gonna go up. I have never seen somebody who is going to the gym and who is practicing all these healthy habits and working on themselves to become a better version of themselves. I've never seen them not be confident. I've seen them have bad days. I've seen them have other issues and problems in their life, but I have not seen a lack of confidence and a lack of belief. I have not seen that in these people. And so I am telling you, that is the key to success, and that is the key to building everlasting confidence. So now, just going off of the previous tangent, I just want to emphasize that we all have something that we're passionate about. We all have something that we're good at. The problem I see is when people are already practicing these habits, but they're not intentional about it. Make sure you remember that confidence is quiet, not loud. You don't have to go out boasting about yourself, broadcasting to the world that you're doing something. If you're doing it, you already know that. You've already done the work. You don't need to prove that stuff to anybody, okay? So walk into a room the next time, keeping that in mind. My next tip is gonna sound a little funny, but it's to present yourself as someone who is already confident. Basically faking it till you make it. And I'm sure you've heard this all over the internet, but is it actually true? In my experience, I will tell you 100% it is. Everybody's dealing with this confidence stuff. Go look at the videos on this that are already existing. They have millions of views. This topic is so prevalent, and everybody still deals with this. People in the modeling industry, people in healthcare, whether people's validation has been based on their looks or their grades or on some other skill or other aspect of their life, like every single person deals with this, and you can use that to your advantage. Because there are a lot of people out there, unfortunately, who are not doing this work on themselves, who are not focusing on the things that can actually let them let go of that barrier that is holding them back from truly becoming themselves. The stuff that's holding them back and causing them to view their life from the passenger seat, like I was not too long ago. I'd be so mad that I was just missing opportunity after opportunity in my life because I did not feel good enough to take it. And I channeled that anger into something positive. I realized, like, I need to fix this. When you address it as a problem, which you already have, seeing as you've clicked on this video and have made it to this part, like, this is clearly something that you want to improve in your life, and that's the first step already. Give yourself credit where it's due, but also don't indulge in that too much to the point where you kill off the voice in your head that protects you, critiques you. I think it's very important. We have to be nuanced about this for a second. It's important to show self-love and to be very grateful for everything you have and to love aspects of yourself, but at the same time, you don't want to completely kill off that voice in your head that is there to tell you, to stop you from getting the judgment that you truly do not want. I think there is warranted judgment and then there's unwarranted judgment, right? Make a difference between the two, and make sure that you're always this is the benefit of introspecting. When you're journaling and you're practicing gratitude and doing all these things, I talk about this in literally every single video, but when you're doing these things, you begin to introspect, and you don't have to journal necessarily in order to reach this. This is literally mental work. How do you fake confidence when you don't feel it? Well, you can start by forcing yourself to look people in the eye. The way that you're going to appear confident is by acting as if a confident person would. What would a confident person do in public? Well, they would have good posture. They would make eye contact with everybody. They're not afraid to look people in the eye as they have a conversation with them. I don't know about you, but that's something that I used to and actually still struggle with at times. So practicing the things that you know are weaknesses for you, that are getting in the way of your daily life and your ability to communicate with other people. I go out and I wear sunglasses sometimes so I can practice making eye contact with people without them knowing that I'm looking at them. And it's such a good way to, like, there's different ways that you can practice this. I know that there are literally channels out there. I used to watch these when I was younger. There's one called Charisma on Command that gives you tips for this type of stuff. But just understand like the benefits of being confident and how much it truly brings you, right? For me, I personally don't believe in pretty privilege as much as I do in confidence privilege. I think that people who are confident, regardless of how they look, well, to an extent, I mean, looks do matter, but I think it's more about confidence. And what's the word? The word is riz. That's the word my generation is using right now. But basically, looks are not the only thing. You can have looks, but if you don't have the confidence or the riz to back it up, you are not getting anywhere. So confidence is so, so, so important. And if you focus on the reward that you're getting, better friendships, better level of communication, you are able to get more job opportunities, more work opportunities. There's endless amounts of things that you can gain access to simply if you work on your mannerisms, on the way that you show up and present yourself, and the way that you go out there and go after these opportunities, right? The way that you go after opportunities, that's all going to be fueled by your confidence. And that confidence comes straight from your self-esteem and your relationship to self, which you have to work on. My next tip is a small but pretty wholesome one. Lift other people up. When you lift other people up, it does something in you. I don't know about you, but when I compliment someone, it ironically makes me feel good. When you give somebody something, when you help other people, it definitely does something for you too. You know, the way that you treat your other people, that is also an indicator of the person that you are. And that can be used to fuel your confidence. So 90% of it, I'd say even more than that, is inner work. Now, I will say this, if you've done all of these and it's still not working, then I would argue that the issue is with your environment more so than with you. Maybe there are just too many external factors that you cannot control. For example, I used to go to a very toxic school. Those 3 years of my high school career were so different from the last two. The last 2 years of my high school career, I was like a completely different person. But when I was in that toxic school, it prevented me from developing, from growing as a person. I almost felt like it was just inhibiting my growth. There were still so many times where I felt like I was watching my life go by from the passenger seat, and I made a vow to myself that I wasn't going to do that. So when I moved schools, that really helped me get out of that headspace. And I know that not everybody can do that, but you can implement little environmental techniques, right? If you've done the mental stuff, but for some reason it's not having as big of an impact as you would like it to, maybe consider changing your environment. Try stopping by a new cafe or developing a new routine for studying. Maybe you need a new place to go study. Maybe you need a new place to go hang out with friends. Maybe you need new friends in general. Like, think about that too. Okay, so now for the biggest question. How do you put yourself out there on the internet? How do you find the confidence to go and make vlogs or videos in general and put them on the internet for complete strangers to see? The answer to that is quite simple. I think of them as who they are. They're strangers. These people do not know me. Initially, when you're starting a new Instagram account, a new TikTok, a YouTube channel, these people don't know you. This is a chance for you to create a brand new identity. You can be absolutely whoever you want. The key to it is to think about putting out there exactly what you want. You get to control the type of person that you are, the image of you that's being put online. That's the beauty of it. That's the freedom that a lot of these so-called celebrities don't get. Use this as an opportunity to reinvent yourself. Once I started posting myself, a lot of people from my past, my present, and from my future, people who I hadn't even met yet, but I was going to in a few months, found out about my account, and I was like, oh crap. So much for that new identity thing. A lot of these people know me. So the way that I kind of dealt with that and moved past that was to accept it. It's like you have to ask yourself, are they going to judge me? Yes. But so what? What am I losing by this person judging me? Nothing really, I promise you. In my experience, I've had to sit in class, sit right next to people, work with people who saw me on their For You pages the night before, and it was awkward as hell. But it was something that I was able to get over because I was being me. I was authentic. I was not hiding anything. I was not pretending to be somebody I was not in those videos. If you come from a place of authenticity, a place of honesty, and if you're actually doing that inner work on yourself, and again, you practice what you preach, I am no different in real life from the person I show myself to be online. As long as I know that to be true, it doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter what people say. And obviously it's still gonna hurt sometimes. And it's not like I don't care at all about what people think about me. It's quite the contrary, because I need that. I need to know what people are thinking of me so that I can do better. As a content creator, like we rely on the feedback that we're getting from our communities, and a lot of the times I have to deal with constructive criticism, and I have to deal with straight out flat criticism, and people who just don't really know how to voice their opinions in a constructive manner, right? But you get used to it. Am I losing money? Am I losing, social points or something? No, I'm not. If anything, the people who were once judging me are now the ones asking me for tips on social media, which is so ironic. At first people were quite skeptical in my life, but now gradually, the more I put myself out there, the more people understand, like, oh, this person, people love that. I kid you not. The most surprising thing about content creation for me was how much people appreciate authenticity, how much people appreciate you being yourself, and just what a community you can actually build. I never thought any of this was possible. It's insane. So make sure you remember that. Like, focus on the reward, what you can see ahead of you, and just do it. If it's something that you really want to do, then the judgment, does it honestly matter? If there are so many other pros of doing this, if a few people are saying something behind your back, does it really matter? Is it impacting your bank account? Is it impacting the quality of your life? Is it impacting the quality of your real, true relationships and friendships? Is it impacting your life in any way? No, it's not. It's white noise. It is white noise, and you just need to put on a pair of headphones and get that stuff out of your head. So, last ending thoughts, make sure you are doing your affirmations, you are journaling, practicing gratitude. Again, it's all mental. You don't have to do journaling specifically. You don't have to try these 20 different manifestation methods. Start by following up with everything I've given you in this video, plus check out other videos online, but honestly, you don't need a crazy amount of self-help books. You don't need a crazy amount of videos. You just need to get started.